My channel, and today we are back with a continuation of basically how I would edit a certain image. So this is the same mom from our high key images, and I wanted to go ahead and show you guys basically how I would composite um, these images, so the gown toss images. So I think we have three here. There was more so two that I liked on the left side that I was trying to decide from, and one on the right side that was absolutely perfect. So I knew that that was the toss that I wanted. So these are the three that we're going to be looking at today. And look at little man. So cute. He was trying to help daddy. I think I really want to go with this one because this one comes out a little more. And then this one because you get a good bit of reach. So this is how I'm going to do this. I really like this one in its entirety. And this one, her face is turned a little bit too much. She tried to keep the pose as similar as possible, which I genuinely appreciate. So I'm going to use this one. I hit Command J to duplicate the layer, and then V to give our move tool. So I'm going to drag it over to this layer, and to line it up, I'm just going to drop the opacity of layer 1 and move it as much as possible to get it as close as I can to her hand. I'm not worried about the rest of the dress lining up. Not too tough. I kind of want to get her arm and her hand where she needs to be, or as close as I can. Honestly, that's really it. There we go. So that when I patch them together, it's just about seamless. So I'm going to give this a layer mask. I'm going to invert that layer with Control I, which basically turns that layer black. And now you have to paint it on to where you need it. So let me get my regular brush, my soft round brush, and you want to make sure if you're painting on a black surface and you want it to appear, you want to make sure that you have your white brush highlighted. My opacity, my flow is all the way up for my white brush. I'm just going to drop the size a little bit so I can see exactly where I'm going with this. Now I don't like how dark it made her fabric, so I will be changing that a little bit, but right now this is kind of just me roughly adding the gown into the image. I do want to change the grass up a little bit because there is going to be a bit of a shadow. So you don't want to completely just put in the skirt. You want to give the shadow to the areas around it as well. So again, this is just me rough brushing. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This way I can see better what I'm doing. And now this will be a little more precise. Now I want to take this off, so I changed my brush to black using my X tool, my X key on my keyboard, and it basically changes the color of the brush. So I'm using the black to bring back the details in like her hands and her wrist and things of that nature. And I just changed it again, hitting X to bring the white brush back so that I can add the skirt in areas that I totally missed. Now, because I've been doing this for a little while now, it's pretty much second nature to me of how to do a composite, and it takes literally no time. But that is pretty much how I would do it. I did want to go down here to the grass and make sure that I didn't do anything weird on mom's foot. Like nothing weird at all. This way her feet are still regular. So again, I'm using my bracket keys to make my brush larger. And I've just changed it back to black because I want to fix the grass and some of the trees around her dress. Granted, none of this looked weird. I just, me, mentally, nope. So none of this looked weird or out of place. Some pieces did because they were kind of weirdly duplicated. But I wanted to add at least the background back to what it normally looks like. And probably fix, oops, let's take you back. And probably fix some of this down here. I just don't want the grass to look too, too edited or too retouched. I want the grass to look nice and natural. And here, what I'm going to do is, oops, yeah, right here. I'll fix that when I merge down. So far, I'm looking at, oops, I hit the wrong thing. I'm looking at her body, trying to make sure that I haven't taken any piece of her away. Let's fix this tree right here. Yeah, I don't want it to look like I really did anything. That is the goal, is to make it look as realistic as possible. Let's see. This one too. Again, no one is going to notice this, but I feel like because I'm editing the image that I'm going to notice. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I'm loving this toss, this one for sure. And then this one over here. I don't like my tosses to be identical. Then I feel like the image looks way too shopped. So I like that these kind of have their own dimension. And once I merge down, then I'll get rid of Dad. And it's not going to be a hard thing at all. And so I'm going to hit Shift Command E to go ahead and merge down completely. And here I'm just going to take this. I hit my Control key to pull this up, and I hit Fill and then Enter. That actually did a really bad job, and so did that. There we go, much better. Fill usually does an amazing job. Not sure why I didn't do it that time. But now we're going to get Dad out. I'm going to always duplicate my layer until I no longer need it. So I'm going to take some of this up here and start getting rid of his hand. And again, you can make the brush as small or as big as you would like. This way you can get into those tighter spots and make it look as realistic as possible. Now, I took away some of her skirt, but I'm not completely bummed about that. I'm just going to sample from up there again. Once I have him completely off the gown, then I can do a huge patch. Okay, perfect. So I got rid of Dad's head and his arm. And let's see how this works. Again, we're going to do Fill. Okay, that's not bad. And there it is. It's like he was never even there. And he did both those tosses. So okay, so here it is. This is pretty much it as far as the composite part, but that was very easy. You find the two images that you want to put together. My trick of the trade is to tell them to hold that pose. They need to hold this pose or whatever pose that they're doing for both frames, and of course having the assistant or dad or whomever toss the gown makes it that much easier, because if mom has to throw it up, her pose is going to change each time. This skirt itself is extremely heavy, so there was no way she was going to be able to toss it by herself. But what I'm going to do is quickly, I am going to clean up the rest of this image. I'm going to let this continue to record so that you can see exactly what I would do to finish fixing this up. There's nothing wrong with this image. You can actually deliver this to a client and I feel like they would be very happy. But for me, I know that I can see mom's back with the skirt that we had on underneath it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this area in and basically make it look like it was one piece. So feel free to keep watching as I continue to finish this image. So this is the finished image and I'm really happy with it. As you can see, we changed some color in, brought some warmth back to her skin, and this toss looks like it could have very well been straight out of camera. Even dad is gone and you can't really tell the difference. So I'm really proud of how it came out. This is what it looked like before. We even fixed part of her dress to make it look like all one piece. This is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like after. So if you guys had any questions about any other type of composites, maybe with a newborn or face swaps with families, definitely let me know and I'd be happy to go ahead and do that for you guys. Until our next video, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below, and share this with your friends, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.